Hey, welcome, friends and family. Super excited to be here with you this Monday morning. So, for some more motivational Monday morning teaching, today we're continuing to come out of our book, Extreme Ownership, written by Jacko and Leif. This is a phenomenal book. We're coming to you out of chapter 8 today, which is Decentralized Command. Decentralized Command. And basically, Decentralized Command is really a great chapter. And basically what decentralized command really breaks down to is having, as a leader, having the people that are working with you or for you or under you, your other leaders, understanding that they are in control, that they are in charge, that they have say, that you've trained them and equipped them so that they can run a program. And and you've got to be able to trust them to be able to. So decentralized command is for bigger companies, or it doesn't have to be bigger companies, but it's for companies that aren't into micromanaging and that they're training and equipping their people so well that they're able to lead without the leader being right there with them holding their hand. And why are they able to do that? Well, when you listen to Jocko, one of the main reasons they're able to do that is because they understand the mission. He actually went as far as to say they never come to him asking, "Hey, Jocko, can we do it like this? We got an idea. What's your thoughts on it?" They come and they present. Here's the problem. Here's our solution. Here's what we're going to do. And so they don't come asking. They don't come with problems. They come with a solution, and they already go ahead and say, "This is what we're going to do." So it's super important that we train and equip our leaders to know our mission. Guys, this Sunday, I went to Brentwood at Bethel. Uh, Brentwood, there are Bethels all over the United States. There's several in there's Murfreesboro, Franklin. They just opened one in Dickerson, um, Clarksville. I mean, they got these everywhere. In fact, they're talking about bringing one to Cookville. We got to talk to a guy afterwards, and they were just like, "Yeah, that's definitely on our radar." They've got them in Phoenix. They've got them in Orlando. In fact, when Lindsay and I got married nearly 15 years ago, on our honeymoon, we went to watch Tim Johnson, who played with the Washington Redskins, had the big Super Bowl ring from where they had won. He uh, he was a pastor there, and I remember when I used to go to Bethel many years ago. Russ Brooks was really working with him and discipling him and helping him become a phenomenal pastor. And then shortly after, he started a Bethel in Orlando. So they're everywhere in the United States and outside of the United States. Rice Brooks went with Steve Merle, who is a phenomenal pastor, and they went to the Philippines together doing a missions outreach program. Spoke with, got in there, did some, preached the gospel. A few hundred people come to the Lord, and Steve Merle stayed behind and continued to raise that church to um, not 30,000, not 60, but over 100,000 people that are in their membership at their Bethel in the Philippines, all over the Philippines, just like all over the United States. They've planted so many churches. Decentralized command probably at its best when you think about this. You know, they're having churches of big congregations, new congregations, small congregations, large congregations. How does Bethel continue to be able to make such an impact? How do they, you know, they're touching a city to reach in the world, and so how do they do that? How do they put this out there so many people's lives can be changed? Well, one thing, they're a discipleship making church. They have core values, and everybody that gets involved in their leadership understand those core values. They have a mission, and everybody that is involved with Bethel knows their mission. In fact, Russ Brooks and Steve Marone, a few of them put together what we call the Purple Book, and it's their foundations book. It's their blueprint. It's their DNA. It's how they think and act. And so it goes through and it has breakdowns on, you know, the basics of salvation, discipleship, of gifts of the Holy Spirit, I mean, it's just a really cool breakdown. And so everybody, all their members, their leaders go through it, and then they train their members to go through it. And that's decentralized command at its finest. See, Russ Brooks ain't sitting there trying to oversee everything. If he was, do you think that there could be over 100,000 members in the Philippines? That's not counting Costa Rica. Do you think that they could have such a movement in all of Tennessee and Phoenix and Texas and Orlando? No, no, because he doesn't micromanage. He just makes sure that the folks understand the mission, and then they understand the heart behind it. See, this is what I've heard it 1,000 times, I'm sure, but it really dawned on me while I was reading this book. It was like, it's one thing to know the mission, but you don't need to just know the mission. You need to know the why, the heart of the mission, why the mission is the way it is. I got thinking about it. That makes perfect sense. Like, if we go back to just, again, talking about church and Rice Brooks and how important it is to know the heart of the mission. They were called to make disciples. They're a discipleship making church. The heart's so important. And when you heard Rice Brooks talk about all these church leaders and the people, it's like he knew them when they were younger. He watched them as they grew in their ministry. He knew them when they were quarterbacks at Brentwood, or where they were wrestlers in Phoenix. He knew these guys. He knew them by name. He built relationships with them, and then encouraged them to get into ministry and go fight the good fight of faith. So, I thought about it. It's like the Sadducees and the Pharisees. They knew the law. They knew the mission. In fact, they got really upset with Jesus when he healed a man on the Sabbath day. It's like, that's horrible, Jesus. The law says to Sabbath, remember Sabbath to keep it holy. It's a day of rest, and here you are healing somebody. And so the Sadducees and Pharisees knew the mission, but they didn't know the heart behind the mission. If they had known the heart behind the mission, they would have known that it was fine to do good on the Sabbath. The Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. And to do good, to help somebody, to heal somebody. But Jesus explained to them the heart. Unfortunately, a lot of them Sadducees and Pharisees got the mission, but they didn't understand the heart. And that's why it's so important in our leadership roles, as parents, as business owners, as in your church. It is so important that you understand not only the mission, but the heart behind the mission. Our mission here at Elevate Real Estate is to deliver phenomenal 5-star service for every client every time. And we say that over and over again. We beat that drum. That's what we get up and go to work to do every day. But you got to know the heart behind that. The heart behind that is because we believe in the golden rule: treat others like you want to be treated. And when you do, it comes back to you. So we just treat others like we would want to be treated. And when we do that, it makes it easy. So if a problem comes up and we don't know exactly how to answer it, we just go back to, how does that resonate with the mission? Are we delivering phenomenal 5-star service in this situation? It may be a troubled situation. The other day, we got to closing, and there was an issue with the keys. We didn't have to think about it. We knew what the right thing was to do. And so we figured out how to get those keys back to them, and then we handed them a gift card with it, because it wasn't necessarily our fault, but it was our commitment to deliver phenomenal 5-star service every client, every time. And guys, you can do anything. You can have a great mission out there, but if it's not with the right heart, it might be wrong, right? Like let's just say, if our mission was to deliver phenomenal 5-star service for every client every time, so we can be the richest realtors in town, or so we can be the biggest company in town, if that was our heart, then hear me, that's not going to go well, because you might sacrifice things for the wrong reason. So with the right heart comes good fruit. And with the right mission, with the right heart, comes good results. And so having a great mission is super important. Having the right heart behind that mission is as important, if not more. Again, I've heard this thousands of times. For some reason, it really resonated with me at this point. And so, guys, just remember, decentralized command is, hey, if you raise your kids up in the way they should go when they get old, they'll not depart. If you teach your company a good mission, and they understand your heart behind it, then you can count on them to do the right thing if you're not just sitting there watching. If your church has the right mission along with the right heart to make, like with Rice Brooks, making disciples, that was their heartbeat, to make disciples. And then they understood how to do that. They seen their leaders do it, and it passed right down to the people that are sitting in the pews. So it's super important that we understand the mission and we understand the heart behind the mission. Guys, I just challenge you this week to really get to look at the why. Why do you do what you do? What is your mission in life? First off, we got to know that in our jobs, in our places of work, in our church, in our places of fellowship, in our families. We really need to know. And then once we know the mission, we got to understand the why and the heart behind it. We got to take time to explain that. We can't just expect that, oh, everybody knows it. You think about it. As amazing as God and Jesus, the Pharisees and Sadducees missed the why. They understood the mission, but missed the why. So we really got to take time and pains to help people understand the why, the mission, and then the why. And some may never get it. Maybe they're not the right fit for your team. Maybe they don't belong in that fellowship. But that's okay. That's the reason why it's so important that we know our mission and teach the why. It attracts the right people and repels the wrong ones. And that's what we want to be. We want to be a magnet that's going to attract the right people. And then also we want to repel the wrong ones. So super important, guys. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. And thank you so much. Have a great day.